Alright, what's going on? This is Brad Buchanan, and in this video we're going to be talking about when to kill an ad and when to let it run. So this is a new product that I just launched. This is a campaign that is set up for website purchases. It's not a website content view or a PPE ad. I want to preface that before we jump into these numbers. Some of these numbers would be significantly higher if you were running like a PPE ad, but I just wanted to throw that out there before we jump into this. So the first thing that I want to talk about is the reach. So what a lot of people do is they will run an ad for $5 per day and they'll run it for 3 days. It's a very common thing. You've probably heard of it before. The problem with that is that you aren't getting enough data to draw conclusions with high levels of confidence. And what that means is that if you're showing your ad to a small group of people, you're not going to be able to draw accurate conclusions from that data to then make a decision to either kill it or continue running it. And I think that's probably one of the biggest problems and one of the issues that a lot of people have that are just starting out. They run their ads $5 for 3 days, and then they say, okay, I didn't make any sales, I'm killing it. But that's not the best way to do it, because you just don't have enough data to say that that ad was bad or good. So, and there is also another component to this, which is the CPM cost. So the CPM cost is the cost per 1,000 impressions. That's the amount that you will pay to have your ad shown to 1,000 different people. This can be high and it can be low. So if you have a very low CPM cost, that means that your ad will be shown to a lot of different people. That can be good, that you're able to then draw those conclusions with higher levels of confidence, as opposed to having something like a $20 CPM cost or something like that. The problem is most CPM costs are going to be too high that you can't draw those conclusions with the $5 per day ads. It's just not enough data. So what I like to do is I like to start out with $10 per day and run it for 3 days minimum. For this ad, I did bump it up to $20 per day on the second day just because I wanted to get a little bit more data. Again, every time you make a change to an ad, you're going to want to have it run for 3 more consecutive days. So this probably isn't the best example, but this is just a product that I'm going to quickly analyze for you guys. So the first thing we're looking at, how many people did this reach? We reached about 1,700 people. I would say that this is not enough people to draw definitive conclusions from, but we might be able to see the beginning of some trends. I would much rather have this be at 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 people before I can say with confidence, yes, this is bad, or no, this is fine. So the first metric that we're going to look at is cost per website purchase. That's this right here. This is the only metric that matters if you have website purchases. If you have terrible CPC costs, let's say your cost per click is $5 or whatever it is, your CTRs are terrible, none of that matters as long as you're making money with this cost per website purchase. So that's number one, cost per website purchase over everything. If you're making money with this cost per website purchase, let's say this was $5 and I had a net profit of $10 per item that I sold, it wouldn't matter about anything else because I'm making $5 every time I make a sale because I'm only spending $5. So that's the first thing you look at. If you don't have any website purchases, then we're not able to look at this. We have to look at the other numbers. So then the next thing we want to look at is the website content views, website add to carts, and checkouts initiated. This is kind of, we want to see, we want to make sure that we're getting enough website content views and seeing kind of, are people adding this to cart? Are they interested in the product at all? We can see that on the first day, we did have 2 add to carts, 31 website content views. So that's pretty good. We're going to jump over here now, look at the cost per click. Cost per click is 83 cents. That's generally going to be good. Anything under $1, again, this is totally niche dependent, but as a general rule, anything under $1 is really good. Anything under $2, I sometimes can make money on. It just depends on the product and the niche. So the next thing we're going to look at here is the CTRs. So the CTRs are kind of linked with the CPC cost. You can see the CTR link is 2.4%. That's this one up here, CTR link. And this one at 4.41% CTR all. Anything over 1% is generally pretty good. Again, these are just very generic numbers. It's going to be different. I've had money where I've been profitable where I've had CTR links at 0.5%. So again, you can't draw definitive conclusions just from these numbers, but it's kind of a good indicator to see the trend of this ad is relevant. It's a good indicator. It's something that you're kind of making a case for. Okay, this might be a good ad. The next thing we're going to look at here is the CPM cost. So the CPM cost here is at $20. That's an okay number. Again, this is going to be dependent on what you're selling. This could be $50. If it's $50, it's going to be hard to make money. That's just the way it is. You're going to want to stay below, probably $30. Anything over that is pretty extreme. I like to stay like $15 range, $15 to $20. And I think that's it for this first day, the 23rd here. So this first day, pretty good results. I'm very happy with this, with my 83 cents cost per click, good numbers on the CTRs, good amount of content views and add to carts. We didn't get any sales, but we're okay. So now we're going to jump to the 24th here. 21 content views, 4 add to carts, 9 link clicks. The CPC jumped up to $2.15. So I think this is a good example of something that if this happened to somebody, they would say, oh, now the CPC is $2.15. I should stop this ad. That's a mistake because you didn't let this run for 3 days, and also you haven't shown this to enough people to say that this is going to be the trend going in the future. So you have to let this continue to run and kind of get that average, and also have it be shown to enough people. So even though this is $2, I can still be profitable at $2. Jump over here to the CTRs. CTRs drop down a little bit from the first day. These are still okay. You can still make money with these numbers. These are fine. I'm looking at the CPM. CPM cost went up. Reach, I got about 250 more people than I did on the first day. I did increase this bid price. That's probably why these are still optimizing. You generally don't want to do this, but I did it anyways. That's probably why these numbers are not as good as the first days. So then this next day we're looking at the 25th. We have 19 content views, no add to carts yet. $1.20 cost per click. Really good numbers on these CTRs. So, and we're not at the we've only spent $12 of our $20 budget. A lot of people would say that this would be a campaign that they would stop. This is an ad that they would stop. This is something that I look at and I say, okay, the numbers are good on these ads. Is it the ads that are underperforming, or is it the product or my website or some other thing that is influencing the reason why I'm not getting these purchases? Because I'm looking at these numbers and I'm saying, I'm getting the relatively cheap cost per clicks. I'm getting good CTR, so I know my targeting is pretty good. My CPM cost isn't way high or anything like that. Why am I not getting these sales? So this is the part where you're kind of having to you have to analyze. You have to say, okay, is it the ads that's failing, or is it something else? And in this situation, I would say it could be something else. It could also be that I just haven't let these run long enough. But I would look at external factors. Is the price too high? Are people expecting to be paying a lot less than what I'm selling it for? Is there something wrong with my website? Is my add to cart button not working? Whatever it is my site not trustworthy? Does it not look, do I not have the trust badges or whatever it is? Is my shipping cost unexpectedly too high? I get a bunch of these people to add them to the cart, and they get to the checkout and they say, oh, shipping's $10. I'm not going to buy this. So you have to look at those other factors in addition to the ads. It's kind of a two-part thing. You can't just run the ads and then say, oh, well, this didn't work. So those are my suggestions. I'm gonna continue to run this ad for another probably 2 days, and then I will go back, and if I still have no sales, I will probably drop this product price, 40%, 30%, something like that, seeing if I can just generate the sales. And if I'm still not getting the sales, then maybe I'll look at something on, like I said, my website, something else. But for these numbers, a lot of people would cancel this ad. For me, I'm looking at this ad and I'm seeing a lot of potential. So I hope this was helpful. Kind of give you an insight of what I do. I could do a follow-up if you guys want me to. Please, please, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. I have basically 0 subscribers right now. I'm putting out a lot of content like this. I want to. Please subscribe. It helps a lot. Thanks, guys.